Theater and the law. What do these two things have in common? My background is in dance, but in dance that includes a lot of emotional acting, so a bunch of nonverbal acting, so your gestures, your body language, things like that. My significant other, on the other hand, was a theater major. He did acting, he did musicals, plays, etc. The two of us are both becoming attorneys, and I think that that brings a special aspect to litigation or the legal field in general. When you go into a courtroom, it's like you're on a stage. You're having to keep the jury interested, the judge interested. You want people to pay attention to what you're saying and really feel what you're saying. The more interesting you can make your voice, the more interesting you can make your hand gestures, the more interesting you'll be and the more people will want to listen to you. Being a litigator with a theater or dance background gives you a unique perspective because you're very in tune with knowing your audience. One perfect example of knowing your audience is the difference between going into state court and going into federal court. In state court, I can go in and sometimes cut up with the judge and make jokes or ask him about his family, his kids, etc. There's a bit more of a colleague relationship in state court outside of obviously hearings or trials. Compared to in federal court, it's much more strict. It's much more stringent. You will always be addressing the judge as Your Honor or Judge. There's a lot more pressure sometimes in federal court, and it can sometimes seem more stuffy, but you have to be able to go from one to the other if you want to practice in both places. And I think having that dance background and knowing that I know who my audience is, I know who I'm presenting myself to, gives a little bit of an edge compared to some people, because not everybody can transition from one type of court to the next with ease. One way I like to tell people how theater and dance in the legal world are interrelated is a story of my dance teacher. My dance teacher, my ballet mentor, was a dancer with the Los Angeles Ballet back in the 80s, and he would do side gigs, just different kinds of side gigs. He'd do some acting, things like that. For me, the most interesting side gig that he did was a law firm in Los Angeles would hire him and other actors around the city to come in and act essentially as witnesses or opposing counsels or judges or whoever that they needed to help train their young associates in essentially the art of performing to your audience and knowing who you're talking to and get more comfortable with conversations that sometimes seem a little forced. And for me, that's what I think makes it so special to have ex-actors and actresses and dancers in the legal field. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, put them down below, or you can visit us on the web at versestexas.com. Thanks!